Welcome back for sports. We have one legend in the building. He's only around the corner, down the street at Ash. He is the football coach, head coach Thomas Bachman. I know you have a lot of things going on this summer.
Yes, we do.
Football season's coming. It's knocking on the door. It's not coming fast enough for us. But first off, let's get into 7-on-7s. How was that for you this year?
It's been good. I feel like we've had a good summer, been doing a couple different things. Of course, we have the one locally, and 7-on-7 has its place. You can certainly benefit from it. It's not necessarily football, but we try to focus really hard on the things that are going to translate to Friday night and not get caught up in what 7-on-7 can be sometimes. It can be a great tool for the quarterback, but it can also be a thing that is just very unrealistic. So trying to teach the quarterbacks that, if you're in rhythm and more on time, and you're working through progressions, and there's a lot of it that can translate to Friday night, and just trying to keep that in perspective when we do it is the main goal, and I feel like we've done that this summer.
Now, speaking of quarterbacks, I know you had a couple guys under center last time I seen you guys scrimmage earlier in the year. Do you have a clear-cut number one now, or are we still going through camp and everything?
Yeah, we'll go into fall camp with both of them getting a lot of reps. I mean, you never know with the schedule that we play, and just the how physical football is. You never know how many you're going to need. So I feel comfortable with both of them. They're both winners. Feel like they have the respectable locker room. So those things go a long way. And so we'll go into camp and we'll continue to let that sort itself out.
Now I know later on this year. Earlier this year, you had a lot of guys, young guys playing. You graduate 22 seniors last year. How different is the team or the field for you right now?
It's a good mix. I mean, every year I feel like I say this every year. People go back and pull up old interviews. I mean, every year we're going to graduate, a lot of kids and a lot of kids that contributed. And last year was no doubt, but we also had a good mix of sophomores and juniors that were contributing. So we returned quite a bit too. And, as we get into fall camp and, the early part of the season, learning to play together and just working out the kinks will be a huge part of it, and but feel good about this group. I mean, I really do. I've really been pleased with the winter session that we had, spring ball, and now the month of June is gone, and we had a really good June. We went 5 weeks in June, and the kids are starting to gel, and we need to continue that as we get into July and ultimately August.
Now you guys got new turf coming in. Do you have a new saying, defend the turf, Trojan turf? Do you have anything?
No, we hadn't. I'm sure somebody will come up with something. Probably won't be me that comes up with it, but really appreciative to the community. That this stuff is going on. It's really exciting time, not just with turf, but the things that are going on at all the schools and around our school, up in the school building. The additions, eventually the field house coming, and just over the next couple of years, all these projects that are going to be taking place is something that we're certainly very appreciative and thankful that the community got out and supported this bond, and we just want to make the most of what we have. I tell the kids all the time, we talk about it a lot within the program, no matter what you're a part of, you just want to leave it better than you found it, and that, make it better because you're a part of it. And I certainly hope that that's something that we're doing for this community, and as we move forward, excited to see what's in the future.
Now, I know we're just talking about graduating a lot of seniors. There's two guys that, you graduated. I'm interested to see them hit the field this year. Jacorian, Bud Clark. I mean, I know you've seen Bud participate in the national championship last year. I talked to Jacorian a little bit in the offseason. He said he's going to gun for a national championship this year. What's that feel like to see those guys playing at a high-level program like that?
It gives us a lot of pride. Obviously the success that they've both had. Bud playing on the biggest stage and playing well last year, and then Jacobian, with what he did, to turn on championship Saturday. Bud's playing in the Big 12 championship. Jacobian's playing in the SEC championship. I mean, it just gives us a whole lot of pride, and in the fact that we can call them, our own, and that they're from right here, and just, makes me think back to what they were for our program, the leadership that they provided, the example that they've set. Forever grateful to those two and many more that played with them for, just for the legacy that they left behind that they're continuing to make for themselves. So a lot of pride is felt when I turn on TV and I get to see those guys, because they're two of the best to ever do it, and they're really great kids too. On top of that, I say kids, they're young men now, they're grown men, but they're just, it's so much more than just the game of football. So to see kids like that have success, man, just makes you proud. It's what this is all about. It's what coaching, it's the real benefit of coaching and getting to know young men like that.
Now, you said you've seen the kids turn into young men. This opportunity you have at the end of the month, you get a chance to have some camp to have some of these young men participate. Just talk to me about that. How do you register, and where is it going to be?
So we'll have another pre-registration at the stadium on July 15th from 9 a.m. to noon. We'll do that on that Saturday. We had one on July 1st, and so that's come and gone, off to a great start. I think last year we had about 150, 170 kids show up for camp last year, and expecting about the same. And just want to grow the game of football, want them to have a positive experience. All of our coaching staff, our players will be out there. I think it's important for our players to give back, and if you can teach, and so to watch them interact and our staff interact, and love the game of football, love sport, love the things that it teaches, and so take it very serious, that we have an opportunity to grow the game of football, and being able to do that through youth football camp there. It'll be grades from, if they're entering kindergarten all the way through entering 8th grade. We can't with any high school, but if they're anywhere in between them, come out, sign up, come be a part of it. And we're looking forward to it.
Now, will it be on your new turf or
turf won't be next year? It will be. I cannot wait till the summer of 24. But we'll do it on the practice field. We'll obviously have the indoor open. To get it's hot out there, to be able to get them out of the heat a little bit at those times. But we'll do it on the practice field, and that's unless the turf's done. But I don't think it'll be finished at that point.
Well, I want to thank you for coming in the studio,
Absolutely,
Coach
man.
Bachman.